Hello everyone! Before we begin our lesson today, I would like to introduce myself. I am Mrs. Jacqueline Is Binalangbang and I will be leading our learning journey. Today, we will explore exciting topics to spark your interest and stimulate your thinking. So welcome to Learning Strand 1, Communication Skills in English for Junior High School level. So let's ensure that this educational journey is both enriching and fun. Before we start today's lesson, I want to begin by reading the four objectives that we aim to accomplish during the lesson. First objective, compose clear and coherent sentences using appropriate grammatical structures, pluralization of regular nouns, tenses of verbs, aspects of verbs, subject-verb agreement, adverbs of intensity, adverbs of frequency, adverbs of manner, adverbs of place and time. Second objective, brainstorming. Third objective, write correctly and clearly letters or notices for business or community participation purposes. Minutes of a meeting or workshop proceedings, family planning, cleanup drive, clean and green program, beautification programs or campaigns, waste segregation. And lastly, show ways of managing or controlling negative feelings or impulses by engaging physical activities, doing household work, doing meditative and breathing exercises, performing exercises that release tensions such as writing down one's feelings, crying, shouting, etc. So the purpose of these objectives is to lead our learning adventure and ensure you depart with valuable insights and knowledge. So let's collaborate to reach these goals together. Before we jump into today's lesson, I aim to start with a motivational activity to initiate your learning journey. This activity is designed to cultivate a positive and interactive setting, enhancing your involvement and deepening your connection with the lesson. The name of this activity is brainstorming what went wrong, what went right. So I will present sets of sentences and your task is to identify whether the sentence is grammatically correct or incorrect. So after doing this, defend your answers as to why the sentence is grammatically correct or incorrect. They agrees to eating the food. Question: is the sentence grammatically correct or incorrect? Okay, very good. The sentence is wrong. The sentence they agrees to eating the food is incorrect due to a subject-verb agreement error. In this case, the subject they is plural, but the verb agrees is singular. Okay, so to correct this, the verb should match the plural subject, so it should be they agree to eating the food. Okay, so this aligns the plural subject they with the plural verb agree. So the verb needs to agree with the subject in terms of singular or plural form. In this case, both the subject and the verbs are in the plural form, making the sentence grammatically accurate. My friend will clean the whole lawn. Okay, so is the sentence grammatically correct or incorrect? Okay, very good. The sentence is wrong. Okay. The subject, my friend, is singular, but the verb where is plural. So to make it correct, the verb should match the subject. So it should be my friend was cleaning the whole lawn. Okay, so these adjustments aligns the singular subject, my friend, with the singular verb was cleaning. So in the subject-verb agreement, the verb needs to match the subject in terms of singular or plural form. So in this case, both the subject and the verb are singular, making the sentence grammatically correct. I am willing to help you. Is the sentence grammatically correct or incorrect? Okay, so very good, no? The sentence is correct. The sentence I am willing to help you is correct because the subject I is singular. And the verb agrees with the singular subject. So in subject-verb agreement, the verb must match the subject in terms of singular or plural form. So in this case, making the sentence grammatically accurate, both the subject and the verb are singular. I salute the owl's teachers. Is the sentence grammatically correct or incorrect? Okay, very good. The sentence is correct. The sentence I salute the owl's teachers is correct because the subject I is singular and the verb salute agrees with the singular subject. In subject-verb agreement, the verb needs to match the subject in terms of singular or plural form. So in this case, both the subject and the verb are singular, making the sentence grammatically correct. Karen ate the fruits lately. Is the sentence grammatically correct or incorrect? Okay, very good. The sentence is wrong. The sentence Karen ate the fruits lately is incorrect due to a subject-verb agreement error. So the subject Karen is singular but the verb ate is plural. So to correct this, it should be Karen ate the fruits lately. So the verb should match the singular subject. So this adjustment aligns the singular subject Karen with the verb ate. Okay, so another activity. I will distribute to you a picture of a baby, a mother, and a father. So your task is to think of 5 verbs that each of them can do. So what can a baby, a mother, and a father do? After doing this activity, you are tasked to use one verb of every picture in a meaningful sentence. So, after making a sentence, I will call a name and I want you to read your sentence aloud. You will then analyze the sentence and I am going to ask the following questions. Okay, sentence analysis. I will call a name and then you will read your sentence. After reading your sentence, I will ask the following questions. Number 1. What is the subject in your sentence? Number 2. What is the verb in your sentence? Number 3. Does your subject and verb agree? Yes, why? No, why? Maybe, why? Number 4, do you think your sentence is right or wrong? Okay, so our topic for today is subject-verb agreement. Okay, so what is a subject? A subject refers to a person or thing that is being discussed, described, or dealt with. In a sentence, subject is the doer of the action. Okay, so in subject-verb agreement, the subject is the person or thing acting in a sentence. So it's like the doer of the action. The subject is the part of the sentence that indicates who or what is being discussed. So the subject can be a noun, a pronoun, or phrase that serves as the center of the sentence. Example, Karen ate the fruits lately. Who ate the fruits lately? Very good. It's Karen. Therefore, Karen is the subject. Karen is the subject because she is the person acting like eating the fruits. The subject Karen determines the form of the verb ate that follows it. The verb ate agrees with the singular subject Karen in this sentence, showcasing the correct alignment between the subject and the verb in terms of singular form. Remember, to identify the subject in a sentence, you need to locate the part of the sentence that is acting or that the sentence is about. So one way to find the subject is by asking who or what before the verb to determine the doer of the action. Remember, the subject is a crucial element in a sentence as it tells you who or what the sentence is about. By practicing identifying subjects in different types of sentences, you can improve your skills in recognizing and understanding the structure of sentences. Okay, so try this, identify the subject. Sheila is loved by her parents. What is the subject in the sentence? Very good. The subject is Sheila. Okay. Even though Sheila is not the one actively acting lovingly, she is the focus of the sentence. The subject of a sentence is the person or thing that the sentence is about, regardless of whether they are the doer of the action or the recipient of the action. In this case, the sentence revolves around Sheila being loved by her parents, making her the subject of the sentence. The speech of the school principal was inspirational. Now, what is the subject in the sentence? Very good. The subject is the speech of the school principal. Okay, so in this case, the sentence focuses on the speech given by the school principal, making it the subject because it is the main topic or entity being discussed in the sentence. I am a learner of the alternative learning system. What is the subject in the sentence? Very good. The subject is I. The subject of a sentence is typically the person or thing that is performing the action or being described. So in this sentence, I is the one identifying themselves as a learner of the alternative learning system, making it the subject of the sentence as it is the one acting as a learner. What is a verb? A verb is a word that indicates a physical action, a mental action, or a state of being. Meaning, a verb is a word that shows an action, physical or mental, or a state of being in a sentence. So it describes what the subject of the sentence is doing or the state of existence or condition of the subject. Verbs are essential in conveying the action or state of being in a sentence and help to provide clarity about what is happening or the status of the subject. Example, verb as physical action. When we refer to a verb as a physical action, we're talking about a type of verb that describes an action that can be physically performed or observed. For example, verbs like drive, eat, play, sing, and swim all describe actions that involve physical movement or activity because they pertain to activities where the body is engaged in motion or performing a specific task. Verbs as mental action. When we refer to a verb as a mental action, we are talking about a type of verb that describes an action related to the mind or thinking process. So ito ay naglalarawan ng isang aksyon na may kinalaman sa isipan o proseso ng pag-iisip. These verbs describe actions that are not physically observable but pertain to mental activities. Examples of mental action. Verbs include think, mag-isip, imagine, mag-imagine, perceive, maniwala, remember, maalala, and realize, maunawaan, as they involve mental processes. Okay, mental processes focus on cognitive activities rather than physical bodily movement as what verb as physical action does. Verb as state of being. Verb as a state of being in the context of exist, live, die, resurrect, recover, refer to actions that describe different states or conditions of existence, life, death, and recovery. Okay, try this. Identify the verb. My friends swim very fast. Okay, what is the verb in the sentence? Okay, very good. So the verb in the sentence is swim. Okay, so the verb in a sentence is the action word that describes what the subject, in this case, my friends, is doing. Here, swim tells us about the actions that the subject, my friends, is performing, making it the verb in the sentence. I think of you every single day. So what is the verb in the sentence? Okay, very good. So the verb in the sentence is think. Okay, so the verb in a sentence is the action word that describes what the subject, in this case, I, is doing. So here, think indicates the mental action that the subject is performing, making it the verb in the sentence. We should live life to its fullest. Okay, so what is the verb in the sentence? Okay, very good. So the verb in the sentence is live. Okay, so we should live lives to its fullest. So the verb in the sentence is the action word that describe what the subject, in this case, we, is doing. Okay, here, live represents the actions that the subject should engage in, making it the verb in the sentence. Subject-verb agreement. Subject-verb agreement is the grammatical rule that the verb or verbs in a sentence must match the number, person, and gender of the subject. In English, the verb needs to match just the number and sometimes the person. Subject-verb agreement is a grammar rule stating that the verb in a sentence should match the number, person, and sometimes gender of the subject. In English, the verb mainly needs to agree with the subject in terms of number, singular or plural, and sometimes in person, first, second, or third. This agreement ensures that the sentence is grammatically correct and makes sense. Plurals in English grammar. Plural refers to the form of a noun that indicates more than one of something. Noun is a word that names a person, place, thing, or idea. To make a noun plural, we add s to the singular form of the noun. This rule applies to most nouns in the English language. By adding s to a singular noun, we indicate that there is more than one of that noun. For example, girl becomes girls when pluralized by adding s at the end. Singular girl is referring to one girl. Plural girls are referring more than one girl. To make a verb plural, we take away the s. Okay. To clarify, in English, verbs do not change to indicate plurality as nouns do. The difference in the verbs talks and talk is not about singular or plural forms, but rather about the subject's number. Talks is used with a singular third person subject he, she, or it, while talk is used with plural or non-third person subjects. So the distinction is more about subject-verb agreement based on the number and person of the subject, not about making the verb plural by taking away the s. Watch the verb endings. Singular, I walk. The verb walk is used when the subject is I. So it indicates an individual walking. So when the subject is we, the verb remains walk. Singular, you walk. So when the subject is you, the verb remains walk. So it signifies an individual walking. For the plural, you, referring to a group, the verb remains walk. Okay, so it can refer to a group of people walking. So ito ay maaaring tumukoy sa isang grupo ng mga tao na naglalakad. He, she, or it walks. Okay, so for nouns like he, she, or it, the verb ends in walks. Okay, so this indicates a person or thing walking. So when the subject is they, the verb remains walk. So it indicates that these people or things are walking. Joe walks. Joe and Maria walk. Okay, so in this sentence, Joe is singular subject, so the verb remains walks. Walks is used when the third person singular pronoun Joe, so it indicates that Joe is walking. Joe and Maria walk. So in this sentence, Joe and Maria is a plural subject because it includes two individuals, Joe and Maria. Therefore, the verb walk is used without any additional ending. So it indicates that both Joe and Maria are walking. The girl walks. The girls walk. Okay, so the girl walks, referring to one girl, and the girls walk when referring to a multiple girls. Remember, there are irregular verbs. In English, the verb do is used differently depending on whether the subject is singular or plural. So when the subject is singular, such as he, she, or it, the verb do changes to does in the third person singular. Okay, so when the subject is plural, like they, the verb remains as do. Okay, so without any additional ending, so do pa rin siya. Okay, so the verb do is irregular in this sense, requiring a change to thus for singular subjects in the third person singular form, while remaining as do for plural subjects. When the subject is singular, such as he, she, or it, the verb have changes to has in the third person singular. Okay. So when the subject is plural, like they, the verb remains as have. Okay, so without any additional endings. Okay, so the verb have is irregular in this sense, requiring a change to has for singular subjects in the third person singular form. So while remaining as have for plural subjects. Okay. When the subject is singular, such as he, she, or it, the verb be changes to is. In the third person singular. Okay, so when the subject is plural, like they, the verb remains as are. Okay, without any additional endings. Okay, so the verb be is irregular in this sense, requiring a change to is for singular subjects in the third person singular form, while remaining as are for plural subjects. So when referring to the past tense with singular subject like she, he, or it, the past form of the verb be is was. Okay. And so in the past tense with plural subject like they, the past form of the verb be is were. Okay. And so the verb be is irregular in this sense, requiring was for singular subjects and were for plural subjects in the past tense. Tip for subject-verb agreement. Generally, if the subject doesn't end in S, the verb will. If the subject does end in S, the verb won't. Okay, so this revised explanation provides a more detailed insight into subject-verb agreement in English, emphasizing the specific cases where verbs do or do not require an S ending based on the form of the subject. So it aims to enhance understanding and application of this grammatical rule in English sentences. Okay, so subject doesn't end in S, the verb will. Okay, so when the subject is singular and does not end in S, the verb typically adds S to match the singular third person. Example, the girl dances. Okay, what is the subject in the sentence? Okay, so the girl. Okay, the subject. How about the verb? Dances. Okay. The girl is singular and does not end in S. So dances add S to the verb. Okay, so when the subject is plural or singular third person but ends in S, the verb usually does not add S to match the subject. For example, the girls dance. Okay, so what is the subject in the sentence? Okay, so the girls. How about the verb? Dance. Okay, so the girls is plural, so it ends in S. Okay. So dance does not add S to the verb. Multiple subjects joined by and. If there are two or more subjects joined by and, the subject must be plural. So the verb will not get an S. Example, the boy and the girl dance. The boy, the girl are two singular subjects joined by and, creating a plural compound subject. The subject becomes plural and the verb does not receive an S ending. Dance does not have an S because the compound subject is plural. So by understanding this rule, you can ensure proper subject-verb agreement when dealing with compound subjects joined by and in English sentences. The verb remains in its base form to match the plural compound subject formed by multiple singular subjects connected by and. Multiple subjects joined by or. If there are two or more subjects joined by or, the verb agrees with the part of the subject closest to it. So when two singular subjects are connected by or, the verb agrees with the subject closest to it in the sentence. For example, the professor or the students walk the halls. Okay, so the subject, the professor, is singular and the subject, the students, is plural. Okay, so to maintain the subject-verb agreement, the verb walk should be plural to match the plural subject, the students. The correct sentence should be the professor or the students walk the halls. In the case of compound subjects joined by or, the verb agrees with the subject that is closest to it in the sentence. For example, the students or the professor walks the hall. Okay, so the subject, the students, is plural, and the subject, the professor, is singular. Uh, the verb use is singular and should match the subject singular. Okay, so the students or the professor walks the hall. So by following this rule, you can ensure proper subject-verb agreement when dealing with compound subjects joined by or in English sentences. Indefinite pronouns. Okay, so what is indefinite pronouns? Okay, so indefinite pronouns refer to an identifiable but not specified person or thing. Okay, so some indefinite pronouns are always singular. Okay, so here are some examples of indefinite pronouns: anyone, everyone, someone, no one, and nobody. Okay, so others indefinite pronouns can be either singular or plural. Example, all and some. Okay. Indefinite pronouns like anyone, everyone, someone, no one, nobody are always singular. So therefore, the verb used with this pronoun should be singular to match. For example, everybody loves grammar. So everybody is singular. So the love or the singular verb loves is used. Okay. Indefinite pronouns like all, some can be singular or plural based on the context of the sentence. So the verb should agree with the number indicated by these pronouns. For example, some people love grammar. Okay, so some people can be singular or plural. Okay, and the verb love agrees with the plural sense of people. Okay. Relative pronouns. Relative pronouns are used to link one phrase or clause to another phrase or clause. Relative pronouns who, which, and that can be either singular or plural, depending on the word they refer to. Relative pronouns such as who, which, and that play a significant role in connecting clauses and referring to nouns in a sentence. Okay, so when the relative pronoun refers to a singular noun, the verb that follows should be singular to match the singular noun. Example, the students who works hard will succeed. Okay, so the student is singular, so the singular verb works is used. Okay. When the relative pronoun refers to a plural noun, the verb that follows should be plural to match the plural noun. Example, the students who work hard will succeed. Okay, so the students is plural, so the verb work is used. Helpful hints. Sometimes several words come between the subject and the verb. Just take out the phrase in the middle to see whether or not the subject and verb agree. Example, the student, though she had lots of problems in other schools, finds or find her new class easy. Okay, so the subject of the sentence is student, which is singular. The verb must agree with this singular subject. The student finds her new class easy. This part of the sentence is the main clause. So the subject is the student. And the verb is finds. Since the subject is singular and the verb finds is correctly in the singular form. So, though she had lots of problems in other schools, this is the dependent clause that modifies the main clause. So it doesn't affect the subject-verb agreement in the main clause or does not affect the subject-verb agreement between student and finds. So the correct is the student finds her new class easy. Prepositional phrase. The subject can never be parts of a prepositional phrase. For example, the students in my class study or studies hard. Okay, so in English grammar, the subject of a sentence should never be parts of a prepositional phrase when determining subject-verb agreement. Okay, so the subject of the sentence is the students. Okay, which is plural. Okay. The prepositional phrase in my class, okay, provides additional information but does not affect the subject-verb agreement. So this is the prepositional phrase. Okay, so the verb should agree with the plural subject, the students. Okay, so the students in my class study hard. Okay, so the correct verb na ating gagamitin is study. So students or the students is plural, so the verb study agrees with the plural subject. Okay, so let's analyze each sentence to determine if the subjects and verbs agree. Okay, number 1, they goes to the gym after class to work out. Okay, so what is the subject in the sentence? Okay, so they. Okay, how about the verb? Okay, goes. Okay, so in this sentence, there is a subject-verb disagreement. Okay, the subject they is plural, so it should be paired with the plural verb go instead of goes. Okay, so the correct sentence should be they go to the gym after class to work out. Okay, so this is wrong. Next. Harry and his friends wants to see the new movie coming out this weekend. Okay, so according to rules of subject-verb agreement, multiple subjects joined by and, if there are 2 or more subjects joined by and, the subject must be plural, so the verb will not get an S. Okay. So what is the subject in the sentence? Okay, very good. Harry and his friends. Okay. How about the verb? Okay, very good. Once. Okay. So let's check. So in this sentence, again, there is a subject-verb disagreement. Kasi the subject, Harry and his friends, is plural, so it should be paired with the plural verb once. Okay, so the correct sentence should be Harry and his friends wants to see the new movie coming out this weekend. So this is wrong. Okay, next. The cat is meowing at my door once in. Okay, so what is the subject in the sentence? Okay, very good. The cat. How about the verb? Okay, once. Okay, so the cat is singular and the verb once is also singular. So this is correct as the singular subject agrees with the singular verb, indicating that the cat wants to come inside. So in this case, the subject and the verb agree properly. Okay, so this is correct. Next, neither the cat nor the dogs likes the new food. Okay, so the subject, the cat, is singular, so it should be paired with the singular verb likes. Okay, so likes. However, the second subject, the dogs, is plural, so it should be paired with the plural verb like. Okay, so dapat ang gagamitin na verb is plural, which is like. Kasi ang subject na the dogs is plural, which is the closest to the verb. So dapat pag ang subject is plural, dapat ang verb na gagamitin din natin is plural. Okay, so ang tamang na sentence is neither the cat nor the dogs like the new food. Okay, so mali ito. Next, the mayor as well as his brothers are going to jail. Okay, so the real subject is the mayor, and then the subject followed by an intervening phrase as well as. Okay, so the verbs must agree with the real subject. So the real subject is the mayor, so it should be paired with singular verb is. Okay. Kaso, ang ginamit sa sentence dito is are. The mayor, siya yung subject sa sentence, is singular, so dapat ang gagamitin din na verb is singular. So dapat is. Okay, so the mayor as well as his brothers is going to jail. Okay, next, nobody wants to dance. Okay, nobody is singular, and then verb once is also singular. So this is correct because once agrees with the singular subject nobody. So in this case, the subject and the verb agree properly. So this is correct. Next, the paper or the ruler are in the desk. Okay, so the paper is singular. So it should be paired with the singular verb is. Okay, so similarly, the ruler is also singular. And it should be paired with the verb singular. So, ang gagamitin natin dito is verb na is instead na si are. Okay, so mali ang are na gagamitin natin na verb sa sentence na ito. Okay? Then, according sa rule, if there are two or more subjects joined by or, the verb agrees with the part of the closest or the part of the subject closest to it. Okay. Actually, no, si the ruler is ang subject sa sentence na ito, and then ang si are is the verb. Sila yung mas malapit eh. Kaya tingnan natin ang subject na the ruler singular, so dapat ang gagamitin natin na verb is also singular. So the paper or the ruler is in the desk. Okay, determine if the sentence is right or wrong and defend your answer. Okay, so your task is to identify the error of the given sentence. Okay, for example, sa tingin ninyo is mali si number 1, so magbigay kayo ng paliwanag kung bakit mali si number 1. Okay? Sige. Let's start. The teachers of Manat Central Elementary School attends the ruling conference at the municipality of Mabini. No error. Okay, very good. So the correct answer is 2. Okay. Actually, si number 2 yung mali kasi ang verb na ginamit sa sentence is singular. Actually, ang subject na the teachers is plural. So, dapat ang gagamitin natin na, verb is plural. So, ang tama is, the teachers of Manat Central Elementary School attend the ruling conference at the municipality of Mabini. Okay, number 2, Sarah Geronimo do well in her singing career. Okay, so no error. Okay, very good. So the correct answer is 2 again. Okay, bakit 2? Okay, so what is the subject in the sentence? Okay, Sarah Geronimo. How about the verb? Okay, do. Okay, Sarah Geronimo is singular, but the verb do is plural. So this is a subject-verb agreement error. So the correct sentence is Sarah Geronimo does well in her singing career. Okay, next. Okay, so number 3, we carry the luggage of our visitors. Okay, so no error. Okay, so very good, no? The correct answer is number 4. Okay, si 4 yung tama. Kasi, the subject we is plural and the verb carry agrees with it. Okay, next. Okay, so number 4, I discusses with the employees regarding the concerns of their salary increase. And then no error. Okay, so anong tamang sagot? Okay, so number 1. Okay, si number 1 kasi the subject I is singular but the verb discusses is plural. Okay, so there is a subject-verb agreement error. Okay, so ang tama is I discuss with the employees regarding the concerns of their salary increase. Okay, how about number 5? They were picking the flowers at the plaza. Okay, may mali ba sa sentence? Okay, very good. No error. So, walang mali. Kasi, the subject they is plural and the verb were picking agrees with it. Okay, so no error. Walang mali sa sentence. Learners, did you get the lesson? Okay, very good. I know it's easy for you. Okay? Okay, so let's do generalization. What is a subject? The subject is the part of a sentence that performs the action or is described by the verb. It is typically a noun, pronoun, or noun phrase that indicates what the sentence is about. So the subject answers the question who or what the sentence is about. What is a verb? Okay, the verb is a word that expresses an action, occurrence, or state of being in a sentence. So it conveys what the subject is doing or the condition it is in. Okay, so the verb is the core of a sentence and is crucial for conveying meaning and completing sentences structure. Okay, so give me at least one rule in subject-verb agreement and example. Okay, write shop. Make the following subjects into a meaningful sentence with the use of subject-verb agreement. Okay, so Ibinigay na ang mga subject sa bawat pangungusap na gagawa ninyo ng meaningful sentence. So, ang gagawin nyo lang ay dudugtungan nyo lamang ito. Halimbawa, sa number 1 ay, so kayo na ang bahala kung ano ang idudugtong ninyo ng mga salita para makabuo kayo ng isang pangungusap. Okay, so in life, we cannot avoid conflicts and disagreements. With that, let's watch this video to learn how to deal with conflicts.
Okay, so if you put a bunch of people together and ask them to achieve something, the chances are there will be a disagreement or two. Conflict is a natural part of working in teams, and it can occur for a number of reasons. For example, it could be a conflict caused by processes, overlapping roles, or differences in opinion. Sometimes conflicts can be caused by external influences, but of course the classic reason is interpersonal conflict. Now, when a conflict occurs, there are steps you can take to solve it constructively. The correct way would be to take a step back and ask yourself some challenging questions. Start by asking yourself, why is there a conflict in the first place? Simply by thinking about the cause of the conflict could be enough to give you the solution. It may help to write it down or discuss it with someone, but if that doesn't shed any light, then try seeing it from the other person's point of view. Best-selling author Stephen Covey uses the phrase, "Seek first to understand, then to be understood." By this he means if you understand the other person's point of view, then you can get your point across much easier. Finally, try to remember what's really important. What are your priorities? Is your point of view in line with the overall objectives of the team, and are you being true to your principles? Try to keep emotions out of it and keep conversations professional, but most importantly, be focused on a solution. Don't dwell on the conflict or hold grudges. Be focused on finding a win-win outcome. Although conflict can be damaging to a team's productivity, it's worth considering the upsides of conflict. Yes, conflict can have its benefits. Think about it. If ideas aren't challenged and different views aren't aired, then how do good ideas ever become great ideas? The Honda Corporation are actually known to encourage conflict in its design teams because they recognize that out of the chaos can come great creativity. So the right amount of conflict can be good, but generally, teams working in harmony perform better. So to be an effective member of a team, you need to be mindful of why conflict occurs and the questions you can ask yourself in order to find a resolution.
Reflection. Why do disagreements occur? Okay, so bakit nangyayari ang mga hindi pagkakasundo? Okay, so disagreements can occur due to various reasons, such as differences in opinions, values, beliefs, expectations, or misunderstandings. So kapag ang mga tao or kapag ang isang individual ay may iba't ibang pananaw, karanasan o kagustuhan, maaaring magkaroon ng mga salungatan habang nilalakbay nila ang mga pagkakaibang ito. Okay, next. How do you manage or control your negative feelings or impulses whenever you encounter conflicts in your family, community, workplace, relationship, and even to yourself? Okay, so paano mo pinangangasiwaan o kinokontrol ang iyong negatibong damdamin sa tuwing makakatagpo ka ng mga salungatan sa iyong pamilya, komunidad, lugar ng trabaho, mga relasyon, at maging sa iyong sarili? Okay, so when we face with conflicts in different areas of life, it's crucial to acknowledge your emotions without letting them control you. Diba? So to take a moment to understand the root cause of these feelings and reflect on possible solutions. Okay, so engage in open and honest communication with the relevant parties to address the conflict constructively. Reflection. How do you settle conflicts among others? Okay, so paano mo aayusin ang mga salungatan sa iba? Okay, teachers' insights. Okay, so in settling conflicts among others, I prioritize active listening and encourage open communication to facilitate understanding between conflicting parties. Sa pamamagitan ng pagtataguyod ng empatiya at pagkuha ng pananaw, Tinutulungan ko ang mga individual na isaalang-alang ang mga damdamin at pananaw ng isa't isa upang itaguyod ang paggalang sa isa't isa. So through collaborative problem solving and mediation, ginagabayan ko ang mga kasangkot na partido sa paghahanap ng mga nakabubuo na solusyon na tumutugon sa mga pinagbabatayan na isyu at nagtataguyod ng pagkakaisa. Okay, so magbibigay ako ng isang formative test sa inyo kung saan susukati natin ang inyong kaalaman, kung may natutunan ba kayo or may naintindihan ba kayo sa aralin na tinalakay natin sa araw na ito. Enrichment activity. In a clean bond paper, make an announcement regarding family planning, clean-up drive, clean and green program, beautification programs or campaigns, waste segregation. Okay, just choose one topic in making your announcement. The use of subject-verb agreement in making announcements should be applied and observed. Okay, so rubrics. Subject-verb agreement is applied and observed, 15 points. Neatness in writing, 5 points. Creativity in making the announcement, 10 points. Design, 5 points. Overall impact, 5 points. So total score, 40 points. Okay, so pass your assignment next week. Okay, thank you and God bless us all.